Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Nick. And today, I'm going to ramble about leaving your comfort zone and why that is so important for all of humanity to do. Now, this idea actually sort of came into my head from two sources. One, a conversation I had with my dad today about how you need to leave your comfort zone to grow. And in combination with that, sort of a concept that I drew from a Steve Harvey video I saw on Instagram. If you're wondering, yes, I am adjusting my mic as I go here because my hands like to do things. So the conversation with my dad I'll get to in a second. But the Steve Harvey video had to do with not being afraid to get what he calls dirt on yourself. Why? Well, because you need dirt to grow. Being clean doesn't help you grow. And no, that doesn't mean getting your hands dirty with a crime. It means challenging yourself, getting knocked down. And when you get knocked down, you get up again. Yes, I made that reference. So glad I did. But the important thing is, he says dirt is fertilizer, dirt is nutrients, dirt is what helps you grow into ultimately a better person. How do you get dirt on you? So we should strive to get dirt on ourselves. How do you get dirt on yourself? By breaking out of your comfort zone, your clean, safe, and tidy comfort zone. So I was talking to my dad about that today as like kind of an interesting idea, and I was bouncing the topic back and forth with him because my dad is smarter than I am, and so I usually run my ideas by him. And as we talked back and forth on it, he thought to himself, you should really talk about how your whole family essentially has been a family of people who break out of their comfort zones. My older sister, for example, got done with high school and just dipped straight out of the country. She didn't abandon us. It's not like she disappeared forever. But she blazed a sort of trail for the rest of us to follow. A lack of fear of breaking the supposed blueprint that we all had to follow. And there was no blueprint in reality. I'm not saying my parents were like, oh, you must do this. No. Even so, she laid down the road of breaking a path forward. She went off and studied a very niche topic, which was a risk. I mean, don't get me wrong. Breaking out of your comfort zone is always a risk. But she studied a very niche topic and is now finding success in that topic. And more success as she goes, and friends and colleagues and everything else. And she's not only left the country, she's now left that country and gone to another country. The scariest thing you could possibly do, right? Leave your home, then decide that you're not far enough away from your home and go farther. Pardon me. My younger sister, she went to a very challenging Ivy League school. Again, got a very interesting degree in the degree itself is hotel management, but it's essentially business management. She went down and became a manager at a very fancy hotel in the South, and then turned left again and started a whole new career, and is thriving in that career in construction and business development, land development, with some other stuff thrown in there. She's an entrepreneur at heart, and entrepreneurship is always a risk. You can't have a comfort zone to be in the entrepreneur world. My younger brother, he got to college, started rowing, and realized that he loved fitness. And not only taught himself a lot of the basic principles, but has now again found a way to thrive. My story, I moved across the country, left a job that I had been very stable in behind, and jumped into the least stable career of all. We'll see if it works out. But between the four of us, we all shattered some varying levels of comfort zone. And we've all grown and become better people for it. Now, it definitely comes with risk. I can really specifically only talk to mine. I spent 2 years in Los Angeles having one friend. Granted, he is a very good friend, but that was it. I didn't have other friends. I just didn't. That's starting to shift now, but it took a while. So I, Green Dayed it up and walked the road alone. Breaking out of your comfort zone is always a risk. You're rolling the dice. But it's worth it because you get dirt on you. And even if you don't do what you expected to do, you grow. And that's more important than ever in the current world we live in, where it's easier than ever to live in your safe little bubble, to do nothing but order food in, to do nothing but watch TV. It's very easy to become very insulated from the world and to become very scared of breaking out of that bubble. And that's really what you're doing when you're breaking out of your comfort zone. Even if you ultimately don't do for a long time the thing that you broke out to do, you ultimately are grinding down that fear element. You're always going to be afraid of something. I'm afraid of the Haunted Mansion at Disney. Terrified. No one can blame me for that. There's that creepy bride in that one room is terrifying. My God. And yet, my dumbass gets on that ride. Continually. Keeps going on. And on and on and on. I still close my eyes when I get to the bride. But for me, it's a big deal to be on that ride. That's a mini comfort zone I broke out of. And I beat back that fear slightly. I'm still afraid of the bride. Let's be real here. But once you break out of that zone and you start to grind down that fear, you find that you're less afraid of other things as well. And you find that you can push yourself even more. And that's all it takes, is just being aware that you can push yourself. And once you're aware, you start to do it more. You're less afraid of trying the new thing. You're less afraid of asking out the pretty girl or guy or whatever person you want to ask out. That's ultimately a good thing. And in this kind of post-pandemic world where we're still unsure of what's up and what's down, that's the best thing we can do. Be less afraid. There's an intellectual component to that as well. But as we are now at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll leave the intellectual component for another time. For now, just know that if you've got a little dirt on you, and it was because you stepped outside your comfort zone or tripped outside your comfort zone, it might have hurt in the moment, but it's only a good thing. You might be a little bit dirty now, but give it a minute, and you're going to shine. Thanks for listening. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great one.